Look at this place. It is a mining facility, a processing facility, and a production facility all rolled into one. As far as I know, I didn't really ask too many questions when I was there because that would have seemed just a little bit suspicious. And I wasn't sent there to do that. I was sent there to pick up a shipment. This place is in north central Wyoming, not too far from the Montana border. So if the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch were a real place, I could have gone there and been like, hey, and they'd have been like, who the hell are you? And so I probably wouldn't have done that, realistically. I would have just stayed here to pick up my shipment as requested, and that's what I did. And this place was quite chocolatey and quite moist. Listen to these beautiful ASMR squishy sounds. My truck is gonna be so dirty. Look at that. All muddy and shit. Ew. Mud everywhere in this place. Oh. Listen to this one. Listen to this one. Ooh, that. Wow, man. That was so satisfying. Anyways, never mind that shit. Over here, I'm pulling up to where I need to get staged and wait till it's my turn to get loaded. There's a guy in the dock already. It might be a guy, I don't know, who cares. There's this guy ahead of me right here. After the guy in the dock's done, then it's his turn, then it's my turn. They only have one dock door. That's all they could afford. I'm not judging, I'm just stating a simple fact. They have one dock door, so there's a lot of waiting to be done. Which is fine, because I can always find something to occupy my time. Okay, so the guy in the dock is done. This guy is pulling up to get his shit docked. And as for me, well, I'm going to do some more waiting. Yep. Stop here, remain in truck, and wait for a truck loader to call/wave you in. They were very insistent on that. They said, do not get out of your truck. They didn't say it that angry, but that was the message. Bless you. Bless me, actually. But yeah, they were very insistent. Don't get out of your truck. It's a mine. It's dangerous. Do not get out of the fucking truck. Ringo over there is still trying to get back in. I don't know if that's his real name. I mean, it might be. It could be. But I just decided that's what I'm going to call him as I wait here. With my flashers clicking annoyingly, I'm realizing that just now. Watch closely here. You're going to see a ghost fly by. Watch. It's going to come up. It's coming. Oh, there it goes. Right there. You see the ghost? That is 100% a ghost. I've watched enough BS ghost shows to know that 100% that's a ghost. But never mind the ghost. Look at Ringo. He made it into the dock. So I am one step closer to fulfilling my task at this facility. Scoping out the scenery while I wait, and that is a very nice tree, surrounded by boxes and pallets and mud and trash cans, and oh, he's waving me in. He's like, hey, dickhead, get in the dock. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. I would just like to point out, for legal reasons and in case the safety department of my company sees this, I'm not actually going that fast. It's sped up to 500% because A, that would be impossible, and B, well, there really is no B. It's just sped up, you know, to save time, that sort of thing. Ooh, choo-choo train. I love me a choo-choo train. And unfortunately, this one, stopping right there. And I was hoping he would pass by so I can get a video, but no, he decided to be a fucking asshole. And I voiced my displeasure at him stopping. What a prick. All loaded up now, almost good to go. Now I just have to drive back around the facility, go get my paperwork, sign for it, make sure everything's kosher, everything's copacetic, and then I will be good to go, able to hit the road. Oh, I start to move, then he starts to move. He's definitely not getting invited to my next birthday party. That tree far down. So now I'm back here at the check-in area, and I'm just going to go and sign my bills and that sort of thing, and then I'll be able to zip zap zippity boo bop out of here. This is what I'm hauling. 9 pallets, not sure exactly how many individual bags, but what it is ground bentonite clay. Now, if you're the curious sort, there will be a link down in the description describing what it is used for. The total weight of this was 18,900 pounds, so a relatively light shipment. Strapping it down, so when I hit the nitrous, the product doesn't come sliding back and through the back doors all over the roadway. One more for good measure. Very nice. I had never been to this part of Wyoming before, let alone on this road, US 16, which connects Rapid City, South Dakota and Yellowstone National Park. It was a fun drive. It would have been much more enjoyable in a sporty car, or any car for that matter, just not an 18-wheeler. It took me to an elevation of 9,500 feet at its highest, and through the southern portion of Bighorn National Forest. I'm going to leave this video in its entirety, sped up. Let's go.
Shaking every time you get into my mind. Like a
What goes up must come down. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm making my way back down the mountain. You can hear my Jake brake or engine brake or whatever you want to call it slaving away to help me maintain my speed and help me not die. Basically, a situation or scenario like this, if something goes horribly wrong, more than likely, and in the words of George Carlin, you are shit out of luck and jolly well fucked. That being said, let's go ahead and continue on our way. Or my way, I should say.
It's all or nothing.
That was it for me on this dreary day. From the customer to this truck stop, I had driven a measly 285 miles. Because I'm a lazy bastard. Plus, I had plenty of time to get where I needed to go. Going over that mountain was just mentally taxing, especially in the higher elevations where I'd sporadically lose spray from my tires, which is a possible indication of black ice. And black ice is a fucking ice hole. Here I'm stopping at the Sundance Travel Center in Sundance, Wyoming. Famous for not being the Sundance where the Sundance Film Festival takes place. That's in Park City, Utah. Folks, you won't believe this. I'm parking a semi-truck and it's absolutely perfect. Huge truck, massive, but I'm handling it like nobody else can. People are watching and they can't believe their eyes. They're saying, how does he do it? It's called talent, folks. Tremendous talent. I'm parking that semi-truck with perfect precision, flawless. The best parking job you've ever seen. Believe me. Next day, back on the road, beautiful weather. It's not windy as it typically is in Wyoming, so I was ready to have an excellent day on the road, ready to rock out with my Ooh. Whoa, it's so very nice. It's like redneck Batmobile. Luxus. I'm no car expert, but I would put money on the fact that that was a 1982 Nissan Stanza. One of the greatest cars ever made. Well, So much for the good weather. It was nice for a while, but then I started running into this storm, and it was, as you can see on the radar, a pretty concentrated small little cell. So while I did have to go through it, it wasn't anything catastrophic or terrible, and eventually I got through it. But as you can see further up, there was yet another storm, and still overall the day wasn't bad as far as driving went. The thing that's most important to me is that the winds aren't going crazy. It can snow, it can ice, it can whatever, like so much I have control over. I can always slow down, take it easy, but when it's windier than a I can't do shit. By this point, I had already gotten into South Dakota, where I was parked in Sundance. Wasn't that far from the border, so I'm in South Dakota. And this rest area right here, actually I have an interesting history and story with. So I might do a separate video on it, just retelling the story if anybody's interested in hearing it. But it was a genuinely miserable experience that, over the course of my whole career I've had many, but this one really sticks out in my head the most. So if you're interested in hearing it, let me know and I will do a video about it. Construction zone, cone, 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 cone. I don't know if that's a cone. No, those aren't cones. That's not a cone. It's not even shaped like a cone. Those are traffic things. Minnesota! Famous for not being Wisconsin, and also the home of Prince, one of the greatest musicians and artists who have ever lived, and also home to these wind turbines, which are producing power, I assume, for people. Many more hours later and many more miles later, it was once again the end of my day, and this time I was stopping at the Whitewater Travel Center in St. Charles, Minnesota. Now, the total distance from where I got started back in Sundance, Wyoming, to here was 662 miles, and that's more than I typically drive. I usually go like 500, 550 miles, something like that. But I was feeling good. The weather was mostly nice, except that one storm I ran into. But the winds were calm, and that's what matters to me the most. And I also needed to make up for the previous day, which was, I admit, pretty lousy, pretty measly, and just absolute dog shit. And so here I'm just getting parked, doing one of my tremendous parking jobs, the best parking jobs. Fortunately, there was one spot left. And usually with these mom and pop places, there's usually spots open. It's the chain truck stop, so you get somewhere that late, and you're SOL and JWF. Restaurant located lower level of gas station. I don't think so. I've seen enough horror movies to know that is a terrible idea. I'm sure they're nice folks, but I'm not going to no lower level for food because I'll be the food. But never mind that shit, because I found a big sad in front of my truck, and it's this little dead bumblebee. I didn't hit it. I want to put that on the record. I did not hit that bumblebee. It might have ran into my truck, right? But that's not my fault, right? So that was very sad. I hope its family is doing okay. After I finished mourning the bumblebee, I was back on the road, and pretty soon I was in Wisconsin, Cheeseland, famous for cheese, beer, Jeffrey Dahmer, who murdered a lot of people, And not only did he murder them, he ate them. That's some twisted shit, right? Like this guy, he couldn't get some beef jerky or something, you know, some waffles. He's like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. I'm gonna eat him. I do kind of wonder, like, what recipes he used. You know, is that an okay thing to wonder? Like, you know, what it tastes like. I'm just curious. I wouldn't do it unless I was in like a Donner Party situation or something like that. But I wouldn't go out into the world and start knocking people over the head and, you know, taking steaks and chops off of them. Anyways, I zipped through Wisconsin. It's not a lot of road in Wisconsin along I-90. And before I knew it, I was entering Illinois, as people not from Illinois tend to say, which is fine. There's an S on the end, right? Illinois, like right there. If they don't want to be said Illinois, then take the freaking S off, right? Don't tell me it's silent. If it's silent, just get rid of it. And of course, I was in the Chicagoland area, so that comes with traffic, which I did run into some, or a lot. And honestly, it was, it really chapped my ass.
Did you pray today? You.
Couldn't they find like a less creepy picture? Like, just as associated? No, I don't want to be associated with that. I mean, it's bad enough your symbol is a guy nailed to 2 pieces of wood, but then you got that creep. No. But we can admire this beautiful, big, tremendous hole in the ground, which is very close to the Illinois-Indiana border, and Indiana is where I'm going next. Yes. And the first order of business as I get into Indiana is to fill up on diesel. There was one truck stop there that had relatively better prices than everybody else around, so that is where I'm going. Some of you more eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed that my diesel pump is still in the tank. Don't worry, I didn't forget about it. I didn't pull away and rip it out of the thing, which they have like these cool quick disconnects, which are really nice, like magnetic or something. I don't know. But once I got finished filling up my def, I took care of the hose for the diesel. And then I was done filling up. Look at his little prick. Thinking he's all hardcore and tough shit. Walking and strutting in front of my truck. Showing me his ass and his backside. Like, what are you gonna do about it, buddy? What are you gonna do about it? You gonna run me over, huh, you prick? Dude, you do not know me. You do not know me. All right? Don't mess with me. You have not seen me naked. You're having some choice words with that bird to let him know what's what. I went inside the truck stop because I had to do a peeps. And initially, I made a catastrophic error. I mean, I had to go really bad, right? And instead of going forward where I should have gone, I went down this hallway where the laundry machines and the showers are at. Critical error. But soon I realized my mistake, like, oh shit. So I turned around and I made my way to where I should have gone to do my business. And just like that, I found the men's restroom. Now look at this guy. I think that bird called in backup and this guy's like checking me out. Like, not like, oh, he's hot, but like, I don't know, can I take him? But then he just kept walking because he thought maybe he couldn't. But honestly, he probably could have. After I got done with all of that nonsense, sorting out the bird, the guy, and doing my peeps, it was time to get back on the road. And leaving this truck stop can sometimes be a royal pain in the ass, but fortunately that time I got away pretty good. And now, getting back on the road, I'm actually getting onto the turnpike, which is nice because on the turnpike, there are no way stations. So the chances of DOT, pulling you in, well, they can't pull you in. I mean, technically, it's to pull you over. But then I have to pull over again over here into this rest area because I'm a moron. Because I was supposed to do a 30-minute break back when I was fueling, and I was like 3 minutes away from it being done, and I pulled away like an idiot. So then I had to stop here again and do another 30 minutes for a grand total of 57 minutes. Wasted. Well, not really wasted, but anyways, I screwed up because I'm an idiot. My little electronic log, put myself off duty for 30 minutes so I can get the rest of my hours back. I drove into the night, and then before I knew it, I had made it all the way to Ohio. Someplace that nobody really wants to be. It's just a place you go because you're traveling to somewhere better, but in this case, I'm not. Here I'm getting off the turnpike because I'm going to a truck stop in Perrysburg, Ohio. I could have gone to a one of the turnpike turn-off, lay-by, rest area, facility things, but for some reason I opted for the Flying J in Perrysburg. Now the grand total from today's trip, from where I started there in St. whatever it was in Minnesota, St. Charles, Minnesota, to Perrysburg, Ohio, was a total of 568 miles. So a bit less than yesterday, but my average, about 568 miles. And with those additional miles, I kind of made up for my first crappy day, which was, again, 285 miles. What a pansy! Now, because I was getting parked so late, I made sure to reserve myself a spot because there was absolutely no free parking at this truck stop. So I do like the option to be able to reserve a spot, to know that I will have somewhere to park guaranteed. And it benefited me on this night as it has many nights. And I did one of my tremendous parking jobs. It was so straight. It was so smooth. Look at that. Honestly, these parking spots aren't that hard to get into. But still, might as well toot my own horn. The next order of business was to get myself cleaned. So I got myself a shower. Got a free shower. Shower number 2. I would have preferred number 1. Put in my code. Get into the shower room, scope it out, doesn't look too bad, no obvious foreign substances anywhere. Alright, as long as the water's hot, water pressure's good, I'm happy. Might even do a dookie there later, I don't know. Spoiler alert, I did not do a dookie. But the next morning I did get back on the road. I was cruising right on through Ohio, and as you could see way up ahead of me, there's a gnarly storm over there. I mean, it looks gnarly. It really wasn't that bad. It was just mostly rain on and off, and it really wasn't all that hard to rain. But from that point to almost all the way into Pennsylvania to my destination, I did have on and off rain, which was kind of annoying, but it also helped clean some of the dust off my truck. And pretty soon, I was in Pennsylvania. Pursue your happiness. Well, I certainly ain't going to be able to do it in Pennsylvania. Although I do have a certain fondness for Pennsylvania, especially the small little town north of Pittsburgh called Elwood City. Love that town. There's just something about it. I deliver there often, and I just love it. I hear there were some construction zones, and those were kind of poopy. I really hate this bridge coming up because it is so high. And I guess it's okay. I don't know. They're fixing it. That's probably a good thing. It's just that it's maintained. But I've never been a fan of bridges. They always get me paranoid. And especially after that bridge collapse in Baltimore. Nope. More rain. Why not? Still raining. Another tall bridge and still raining. Oversized load. Huge. It was going pretty slow, but it was going uphill. And I myself wasn't going that fast, but I was going faster than him. Took him on the outside. Like a chirp. Shove a stick on my ass and call me a popsicle. It finally stopped raining. And just in time, because now I'm getting off of the interstate to go park where I will be sitting the weekend, because most of the places we deal with are Monday to Friday kind of places, and so we end up sitting a lot of weekends. So here I'm getting in on a Saturday, so I'll sit the rest of Saturday, all of Sunday, and then deliver my shipment first thing Monday morning all the way from wherever I picked it up in Wyoming. I don't remember the name. This is another mom and pop truck stop. However, it does look like a premium mom and pop truck stop. Very bourgeois, because it's got a paved lot. Right? That for a mom and pop, for a non-chain truck, a paved lot, that is like, whew, I don't even know if I'm in the right, tax bracket to be staying at a place like this. A lot of those mom and pop places, they got gravel lots with not potholes, but craters. And good luck navigating those things at night. Those things will swallow your truck whole and definitely mess some shit up. This place was pretty nice. I was liking it so far. It was also pretty open. There was only 2 other trucks there. And at no time did it really fill up, so I definitely started this thing on my Google Maps to make sure to come back here again. And as you'll see, it turned out to be even better than I thought. They have these concrete barriers there, so when a truck is backing in, they don't end up going over the edge. But it appears that on 2 separate occasions, some Jethros gave it a little bit too much gusto because they ended up knocking 2 of them off, which is like crazy because you'd think you'd hit it and you'd say, uh-oh, I can't go back any further. But no, they just like mashed down the accelerator and just sent it. There was this nice stream next to the truck stop. Beautiful sounds of running water and nature. And the running water made me want to go peeps again. And there was also this really nice rock by the stream. Look at the size of that son bitch. That thing is massive. And also that wasn't the sound of aliens invading. It was a motorcycle sound, slow motion. And this rock was also very beautiful. Cracked in half. Probably not by an axe, but nature itself. What with its freeze and thaw cycles? Am I right? Admittedly, even though this was a nice mom and pop truck stop, this restroom stunk really bad. Exceptionally bad for a restroom. But local artists obviously like to visit this place and share their artwork on the mirror. That's nice. And I might be using that later. Inside, they had a restaurant called The Fat Burger, which I had never heard of, but look at those prices! I was gonna go for the Triple X burger, which I did, and this thing was massive. It was monstrous. Look at the size of that thing. That could feed a whole village. However, as fate would have it, my earlier prediction of, and I might be using that later, turned out to be true. I couldn't help but notice that at the top of this stall wall, there's a lot of fingerprints. Like, there's a lot of people looking over that edge like, boo-hoo! Ooh, what are you doing, bad boy? Eventually, the weekend was over, and Monday came, and it was time to go and deliver my shipment. This was my second time delivering to this specific customer. The first time was an absolute disaster. I went to what appeared to be the front gate on Google satellite maps, and it was a front gate, but not anymore. So I drove all around, and this right turn right here is where I needed to get to. But you couldn't, if you're coming from the other way, you cannot make this right turn. Where that red car was, that's where you have to turn, and then up ahead a little bit, you can cross over. It was just a total mess. It took me forever to find where I needed to go. So this time, second time around, hell of a lot better. This building, which I just passed up, it was on my left-hand side, used to be a train station. A very long time ago. The building is quite old. It was built around 1871. That is the most accurate information I could find about it. I couldn't find an exact date, and I also couldn't find when it ceased being a train station. But after it ceased being a train station, it was many different businesses over the years, and I was able to also find this photo, which I'm not exactly sure when it was taken, but judging by what appears to be a Model T in the background, possibly turn of the century up to late 20s, maybe early 30s. So there's about a 3-decade possibility of when this photo may have been taken. I really wish I knew. I really wish I knew the photographer's name so I could give him credit, even though he's obviously long gone. Unless he's immortal, like Duncan MacLeod, then, you know, he'd probably still appreciate it if he were to watch this video. Anyways, I apologize for that little detour in history. It's just that whenever I see an obviously old historic building, I get this insane drive in my head that I immediately want to know as much as I can about it, everything about it. And unfortunately, you know, it's not always possible. Best I could find was that it was built sometime around 1871, and I also did find a lot of interesting stories around this area and that train station that were kind of cheeky, funny, sad. But anyways, enough with that nonsense. driving the rest of the way through this residential neighborhood to the customer, so let's get that sped up. Once I got parked in their lot, the security guard came out with his little mirror to check under my truck to make sure there's no bombs, tanks, grenades, wookalars, samsquamches, tanks, whatever, underneath my truck and trailer. And while he was doing that, I went and got checked in, and they tell me where to go, and that's where I go. Fast forward a little bit into the future, and I am all unloaded. It took them only about 10 minutes at most to get me unloaded. I don't sit at the docks very long. It's very rare that I spend a long time at any dock. Then I grab my little trusty plastic bin full of straps and my placard protector things and throw that back into my trailer. Toss these 2 other straps into my little plastic bin, and I do need to get some more straps because I've lost some got destroyed and so on, but all empty. And then I noticed here when I started doing my door that I was not pulled up enough because I couldn't close the other right side door, so I went ahead and pulled up, and then I could get to closing up my doors. And not exactly easy one-handed, although I did manage. Because I'm tremendous at closing doors, the best at closing doors. One-handed, no problem. Got it all latched up, closed up. Get the other door, press my body against it, so get the tension off. Lock that up. Get it nice and closed. But I did then realize there was no way I was going to get this lock on there with one hand. You see, I kind of like freeze and realize like, oh shit. And you might be wondering why I'm locking up an empty trailer. Well, because for one, my straps, my placard savers, my plastic bin are in there, but also if it's locked, I don't have to worry about anything leaving the trailer as well as anything going inside the trailer that I don't want in there. But that's it. I'm all done. I'm all unloaded. The load has been completed from Wyoming to Pennsylvania. Now all there is left to do is pull to the side over here and then punch in on my little platform science computer that I am unloaded. The load has been delivered. And then more or less just wait for my next assignment. Although in this case, I did already have a next assignment, so I was going to drive back west to Elwood City, Pennsylvania, which I mentioned earlier in the video, where I would be picking up yet another load. Funny enough, I have already picked up that load from Elwood City, and I've already delivered it. However, when I delivered it, one of the pieces on one of its sides was mislabeled. So the customer obviously couldn't take it. They couldn't risk taking it, not knowing exactly what's in there. So I was forced to bring back that one piece that was maybe bad, maybe not, back to Elwood City, which is where I'm at right now, in Portersville, Pennsylvania, at the truck stop, waiting to take it back, waiting for Monday, sitting the weekend yet again. And so once Monday comes, I'll be able to take that piece back. That load from Elwood City went up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so I had to drive all the way back to Pennsylvania with that one piece to return it. But it's all the same to me. I get paid either way. And that concludes this video and this load.